Hey everyone, here's an update on my learning game for Saratoga, update number 2, and we are at turn 9 and the Americans are about to do their turn. Looking at the morale situation, British morale is still pretty high, Americans have dropped back. In terms of the eliminated units, it's the rebels that have fared the worst. Having lost Morgan and his riflemen early on and captured, and the 6th Massachusetts were eliminated, but General Phillips has been lost in action, and we'll go over to the action now. So bearing in mind that this is a learning game, so I'm not playing everything as tactically correct as I really should be, I imagine, but let's have a look at what I've been doing or what the British and Americans have been up to. So the British have decided that their main thrust is going to be along the road along the Hudson River. They've broken through these fortifications here, all these field works. They've launched an attack on the far right flank on the Hudson of the American lines, and it was an ill-conceived attack. I think their cannon is still coming up and really wasn't used in the attack, and to be honest, I'm not exactly sure how best to use artillery in this game in an attacking role. Certainly it's obvious in the defensive role, but I'm not quite sure how to do it in an attacking role, so I'll figure that out shortly. So this probably premature attack went in, and it was quite bloody and brief. The 13th Massachusetts was reduced. Their artillery was forced back. The 3rd Massachusetts was repulsed and disrupted, but the British didn't break through. They took some slight hits here on the attack on the 5th Massachusetts, but significantly von Riedzel, is that how you pronounce it, and his elite unit of infantry were bloodily repulsed here by their assault at this fortification here. So the Americans have withstood the first round of combat, and but there's a heck of a lot of support coming up, and the British are intending on punching a hole through here. The Germans have spread out and are now occupying the front centre of the British line, and in the right flank of the British they've got General Fraser here on this hill holding the right flank with Prince Ludwig and his mounted infantry, and on the far right we've got probing British and Indian and loyalist forces that are probing here mainly to prevent the Americans reinforcing that right flank. There may be an attack going in here as well, because there is a lack of defensive fortifications around this area here, and although these forces aren't particularly strong, they're mostly one strength, all these ones here. The Earl of Balcarres is relatively strong, so they could do a bit of damage there if not watched. So that's the situation in my learning game. Just pulling back for a moment and having a overall view. So the main thrust again continues along the Hudson into here, and with the German forces in a holding pattern through here, and they may do some probing attacks as well, and same on the very extreme British right flank. As I said a moment ago, I'm not sure how best to use the artillery in an attacking situation, and I'll figure that one out. I think the British should have waited for the artillery to get in position before they launched that attack. Nonetheless, the British General Burgoyne was very keen to get rid of these rebels, and that's it. So it's been Really enjoyable so far. The game systems, as I said earlier, easy to use. Plays pretty quick. It's coming across as very favourable at this stage. So I'll give you an update in a turn or two, and we'll see how this progresses. But yeah, I'm interested to see if the British can punch through here, and if the Americans do try and reinforce that, then we'll probably probe up with the British this way. Okay, so that's Saratoga. The learning game continues.